Hey Hellions, and welcome to another review video with me, Lyn McGlaughlin, and today I am going to be reviewing the 2010 The Loved Ones. Now, I didn't really know much about this film, to be honest. I didn't even know the film existed. It came up on a recommendations on my Prime video, and as soon as I saw the poster for this film, I was sold. I was like, right, that's it. I'm watching it. So I went in blind. So I knew nothing really about the film. I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't really read the plot or anything like that. I just went straight in blind. And oh my goodness, this film. I will admit, this is one of the best horror films I've seen in a long time. long time. So the story starts with Brent, who's going through some trauma regards to being in a car accident with his dad, and unfortunately his dad passed away. So he's been dealing with a lot of trauma and guilt regards to the accident because he was driving. So he gets asked to the prom by Lola and he rejects her nicely, just says, no, I can't, I've got a girlfriend, I'm going with her. Which is fair enough. And that's when it goes all terribly wrong for Brent. So Brent is out chilling with his dog, getting high, listening to some heavy metal music, and all of a sudden he is attacked and kidnapped by Lola's dad. And sometime after, he wakes up in a prom suit tied to a chair. And that's when the torture and the horror really begins. We also have his girlfriend who can tell that, he's not emotionally involved in the relationship, but she's still with him. We have his mum who has this fear of him being in a car where even if someone else is driving, she has that fear that she's going to lose him too. So he has this all going on, and then comes in Lola. So it stars Xavier Samuel, who plays Brent. He is known, he's known from the Twilight Saga Eclipse, and we have Robin McLeavy, who plays Lola. Now, Lola is the star of this film. Oh my goodness. This girl is batshit crazy. She is, oh my god, she has lost the absolute plot. She kidnaps Brent. She tortures him. I don't want to spoil too much to the film, but let's just say there's an electric drill. Yes. So she tortures him. Her father helps. Her and her father have this kind of weird kind of relationship. It's a wee bit creepy and pervy. Don't want to go into the full details. Don't want to spoil it all for you guys. But yeah, so there is a wee thing going on there. And it turns out Brent isn't her first victim. She's had previous victims before. She keeps this kind of scrapbook of all her victims. She carves hearts into their stomach. The girl is full on cracked. Which makes her awesome in the horror character legends. She is up there for me. She really is. She is up there. The girl is something else. So what I like about this film, it's not your typical teen horror prom horror movie. It's nothing like that. It has the kind of premise of it, but it just feels like not that kind of film. It kind of has like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre / Funny Games vibe to it. Like, there's a dinner scene in the movie, and it just reminds me of that dinner scene in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And with Funny Games, it's more like the atmosphere, the vision of the film. Just like Funny Games, there isn't that much dialogue in the movie. So it's more visional, it's more vision, showing emotions just through the lens. You know, there's close-up shots of the mother, her fear, stuff like that. There's just great close-up shots of the characters' faces, and that really shows their emotions rather than describing their emotions with dialogues and words and stuff, and it works absolutely perfect in this film. It's got a very low budget indie kind of vibe to it, which works perfectly. It really, really does. It has a slow build up. It has so much tension. There's a specific scene where I'm just like, oh my god, what's happening? And also, you feel very, very, very connected to the characters. You do have this kind of sympathy for Brent, and you root for Brent. You want Brent to survive. You want him to get the hell out of there. So you're rooting, you're like cheering him on, which is great. And for me, I don't usually have that kind of emotional attachment to horror characters like that. Usually I root for the bad guy, but in this case, I was rooting for Brent. I wanted Brent to get the hell out of there. I really, really did. And what else I loved about this film was the music. I loved how they used different types of music to describe the characters. So you have Brent, who likes heavy metal music. So when there's a scene with him in it, they play this kind of heavy metal guitar tune, which is awesome. And there's a scene where he's trying to get away, he breaks free and he's trying to escape, and they play this really loud heavy metal music, and it just fit perfect with that scene. I've always said this, that heavy metal music and horror fits absolutely perfect. It's like bread and butter. It just goes so well. And the same with Lola. When Lola's in a scene, they play like poppy kind of ballad kind of music to fit her kind of character and her kind of arc in the story, which is interesting as well. And it's really, really good. I love how they used all different types of music to show the character's personality and emotions. It was just spot on. It was fantastic. I want to talk about Robin McLeavy's character, Lola. She was absolutely fantastic, as I probably said before. It felt like she channeled Lola, you know. It didn't feel like an actress playing a character. It did feel like this actual character was real, which I loved so much about. Xavier Samuels, his acting was spot on as well. He done a fantastic job. The only issue I had was with marketing, because this film originally came out in 2009, and then it came out in 2010, but it was a limited release, because I've never heard of it when it came out at all. There was no promotion with this film, well, over here in the UK anyway. And then I heard that it was released again in 2012. So I know Xavier done the Twilight movies. Well, he done the Twilight saga Eclipse. So I'm not too sure if they decided to remarket it in 2012, because there does seem to be like 3 different release dates for this film. So I'm not so sure, because of the hype with the Twilight movies, they decided to revamp it and re-advertise it with his name, because I looked at one of the posters and it was just his name, like right across the screen. So even though, you know, he was great in this movie, but Robin Levy was the star of this. She really, really, really was. She was absolutely incredible. So I think that's where kind of the movie I think that's why it kind of slipped to the sidelines, maybe. I don't know. But as a hidden gem, it is fantastic. I was trying to talk to people about this film and they're like, never heard of it, never heard of it. And I didn't even know this film existed until it came up in my recommendations on Prime. So if you guys have not seen this film, I highly recommend that you do. It has some great gore in it. I love a bit of gore in my horror. I really, really do. And this just provides it. I'm not a squeamish person when it comes to gore and horror movies, but this did make me flinch quite a few times. One scene in particular. So yeah, if you love gore, you love horror movies, this is the film for you. It really, really is. So I do highly recommend that you watch this, guys. So with that, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I will definitely watch this again. I know I will, and I will recommend it to anyone who loves horror films. I will, because this was a spectacular hidden gem of a movie. So what I want to know, have you seen this film, guys? If you've not seen it or you're thinking about seeing it, please leave your answers down in the comments below. I really want to know what you guys thought of this film. If you have seen it, like I said, it is a hidden gem, so I'm not expecting a lot of people to know this. But if you're a horror fan like myself, you probably might have seen it. Not too sure. Well, guys, that is me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I will see you guys again soon.
Thanks for watching that video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to stab that like button, slash that subscribe button, and you'll be constantly in the know. If you want to see any more of our amazing content, go to www.hellhoundmagazine.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the description below, as well as the icons along here. That's really it, guys. We always appreciate your love and support. And until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you soon.